Introduction to the subconscious mind. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like an iceberg. The part above the water, the tip, represents your conscious mind, the thoughts and decisions you're actively aware of. But the massive structure lurking beneath the surface, that's your subconscious mind. It's vast, powerful, and often mysterious. It's quietly shaping the course of your life in ways that you might not even realize. The subconscious mind is like the backstage crew of a theater production. You don't see them moving the props or adjusting the lights, but every scene on stage depends on their work. This part of your mind operates behind the scenes, storing your beliefs, habits, memories, and emotions. It processes information constantly, even when you're asleep, and steers your actions and reactions without needing your conscious approval. Sounds incredible, right? But how exactly does it work, and why does it matter so much? To put it simply, your subconscious is your body's autopilot. Ever driven home without really remembering the route? That's your subconscious at play. It takes over repetitive tasks, so your conscious mind can focus on other things. But it doesn't just manage your daily routines. It also influences how you interpret the world. It's like a filter, coloring your experiences based on the beliefs and emotions stored in its depths. For example, imagine someone who firmly believes they aren't good at public speaking. This belief is rooted in their subconscious, perhaps, from a childhood memory of stumbling over words during a school presentation. Even as an adult, that belief subtly guides their actions, making them anxious before presentations or hesitant to speak in front of a group. Their subconscious mind is convinced it's protecting them, steering them away from situations it perceives as threatening. But here's the twist: it's working off outdated information. The subconscious doesn't differentiate between what's still true and what no longer serves you. And that's where the real power of understanding comes in. Once you learn to recognize the subconscious mind's influence, you can start reshaping it. Think of it as reprogramming the operating system of your mental computer, instead of letting outdated software like self-doubt or limiting beliefs run the show. You can install updates that align with your goals and aspirations. This is why understanding your subconscious is so critical. It's not just about gaining insight into your inner workings. It's about taking control of the silent forces shaping your life. The fascinating part: your subconscious doesn't communicate in words. Whereas your conscious mind might think in sentences and logic, your subconscious speaks a more symbolic language, communicates through emotions, images, and patterns. Dreams, for instance, often provide a glimpse into this underlying realm. That strange dream about missing a flight or showing up to school unprepared. It might be your subconscious nudging you, signaling unresolved fears or anxieties, because it's always active. Your subconscious absorbs everything you're exposed to, whether or not you're paying attention.
Think about advertising.
You might not consciously notice the upbeat music or subtle product placement in a commercial, but your subconscious does. This is why advertisers focus so much on repetition. No, your subconscious will start to associate their brand with familiarity and comfort over time. The same principle goes for your personal life. It's the media you consume, the environments you spend time in, and even the words you speak to yourself all shape your subconscious programming now. That might sound a little daunting, but here's the empowering part: you can influence your subconscious mind intentionally. You don't have to surrender to the programming of your childhood or the habits you've picked up over the years. Through focused effort, you can rewrite the narrative stored in your subconscious. Tools like mindfulness, visualization, affirmations, and meditation are powerful ways to start this process. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about working with your subconscious, like a collaboration to build the life you want. At this point, you might be wondering, why does this matter? To me, well, take a moment to reflect on something in your life you'd like to change. Maybe it's a fear you want to overcome, or a goal you've struggled to achieve. Chances are the roadblock isn't your conscious lack of effort, but an unconscious script holding you back. By tapping into the power of your subconscious, you can identify and rewrite those scripts, transforming the way you approach life's challenges and opportunities. Understanding your subconscious is like finding a treasure map. You discover a hidden world of potential, a reservoir of energy and creativity that's been quietly shaping your reality all along. It's the key to understanding not only what drives you, but also what's possible for you. And when you unlock that potential, your reality can begin to shift in ways you never dreamed possible. This audiobook is your guide to exploring that hidden reservoir. Together, we'll unpack the science and art of connecting with your subconscious. From practical tools you can use every day to exploring the messages encoded in your dreams, you'll learn how to harness this incredible force to rewrite your story. Every great adventure starts with a single step, and this is yours. Welcome to the beginning of a deeper understanding of yourself, where the unseen parts of your mind become your greatest ally. The power of the subconscious. Picture your mind as the engine of a car. Your conscious mind is the driver, deciding where to go and how fast to reach your destination. But the subconscious, that's the engine itself, the powerful force humming beneath the hood that actually gets the car moving. No matter how skilled the driver is, the car won't budge without the engine's cooperation. Similarly, your subconscious is the unseen power steering you toward your habits, beliefs, and behaviors. Understanding its influence can unlock doors you didn't even realize existed. From the moment we're born, our subconscious minds soak up experiences like sponges. Every interaction, every word spoken around us, and every repeated observation leaves an imprint. It's in these formative years, long before we grasp the concepts of logic or reason, that the subconscious starts to build the framework for how we perceive the world. This means our beliefs about ourselves, our potential, and even our limitations are often cemented by the time we're just children. For instance, imagine a child who grows up hearing constant praise for their creativity. You have such a great imagination, people might say. Over time, this belief becomes ingrained in the child's subconscious, shaping their identity as a creative individual. On the other hand, consider a child who hears statements like, "You're so clumsy," every time they drop something or trip. That label of clumsy can settle into their subconscious, influencing how they see themselves well into adulthood. Even if they grow into someone who rarely stumbles, this is the power of the subconscious. It serves as a database of interpretations and assumptions about the world and our place in it. What makes it even more powerful is that most of this happens automatically. You're typically unaware of the programming running in the background, no matter how much it shapes your daily choices. Think about your habits. Why do you always reach for a second cup of coffee in the morning? Why do you instinctively check your phone when you have a moment of idleness? Or why does a specific situation like speaking up in a crowded room evoke feelings of tension or dread? These habits and reactions often stem from subconscious patterns. When something becomes a routine behavior or response, it gets relegated to the subconscious for efficiency. After all, your conscious mind has limited bandwidth. By automating decisions, your subconscious ensures you don't have to expend energy making the same choices over and over again. But this efficiency has a downside. Once a habit or belief burrows into your subconscious, it doesn't question whether that programming is good or bad, helpful or harmful. It simply acts on the information it's given, like a computer executing code. This means if your subconscious believes that you're bad with money or not good enough, it will quietly guide you to make choices that reinforce those beliefs, even if you consciously want something different. One powerful example of the subconscious at work is in the realm of fear. Imagine someone who fears failure. This fear might not be something they think about every day, but it's there, tucked into the layers of their subconscious. When an opportunity to try something new arises, a challenging job position, launching a business, or something as simple as joining a public speaking class, their subconscious reacts long before their conscious mind does. Perhaps they procrastinate, second-guess themselves, or find reasons to delay taking the leap. By keeping them in their comfort zone, the subconscious feels it's protecting them from vulnerability or rejection, even if staying in that zone means missing out on growth. This brings us to a fascinating realization. The subconscious doesn't differentiate between what you want and what you fear. It takes emotional intensity as its cue, responding strongly to whatever belief carries the most energy. That's why it's so important to be mindful of your inner narratives. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm no good at relationships," or "I'll never be successful," your subconscious will take that as a directive, propelling you toward outcomes that mirror those ideas. On the flip side, this also explains why affirmations, visualizations, and positive thought patterns can be so effective. By feeding your subconscious images and ideas of what you truly desire, you can start to shift its programming.
Imagine
Planting seeds in a garden. If you nurture the seeds with care, sunlight, and water, they flourish into healthy plants. Feed them negativity and neglect, and even the most fertile soil won't yield a thriving harvest. Your subconscious is much the same. It responds to what you repeatedly cultivate within it. One way this plays out is through the concept of confirmation bias. When your subconscious holds a certain belief, say, "I'm not good at socializing," it influences you to notice experiences that validate that belief and overlook those that challenge it. For instance, you might dwell on an awkward moment from a conversation while completely dismissing a compliment you received in the same interaction. This selective focus reinforces the original belief, creating a self-fulfilling loop. But when you consciously work to reframe your thinking, you can break that cycle and guide your subconscious to seek out positive evidence instead. The incredible power of your subconscious isn't just confined to shaping habits and beliefs. It extends to how you perceive the world at large. The entire fabric of your reality is filtered through your subconscious. Consider how two people might experience the same event, such as a rainy day. 1. The rain might feel like a refreshing pause, an opportunity to cozy up with a warm drink. To another, it might feel like an inconvenience, a disruption to their plans. The event itself hasn't changed, but the way individuals interpret it depends on the associations and emotions stored in their subconscious. Here's the key takeaway. While your subconscious may operate automatically, it doesn't have to run on autopilot forever. You have the power to step into the driver's seat and recalibrate the engine, lining its immense influence with the life you want to lead. The first step is awareness, acknowledging the scripts and patterns that shape your daily choices. The next step is intention, actively reshaping those narratives with care and persistence. Your subconscious is like a river. Left unchecked, it will flow wherever the current takes it. But with guided effort, you can chart its course, using its relentless energy to steer you toward a future filled with growth, fulfillment, and endless possibility. Mindfulness, the gateway to awareness. Mindfulness often feels like one of those buzzwords we hear everywhere. But what does it really mean? More importantly, why does it matter when it comes to understanding your subconscious mind? To answer that, let's start with a simpler question. When was the last time you sat still, truly present in the moment, without your mind racing to yesterday's worries or tomorrow's plans? If that feels like a rare occurrence, you're not alone. Are constantly in motion, darting between past memories and future concerns, rarely lingering in the now. This is why mindfulness is so powerful. It's the practice of anchoring yourself in the present moment. and it opens the door to understanding the subconscious mind in ways you might not expect. At its core, mindfulness is about paying attention on purpose. It's not about clearing your mind or forcing yourself to feel a certain way. Instead, it's about observing your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings as they are, without judgment. Think of it as shining a flashlight into the dark corners of your mind. You don't try to move or change what you see, you simply notice it. Over time, this practice helps you become aware of patterns and triggers that operate silently in the background patterns. It's often shaped by your subconscious. Here's the thing about the subconscious mind. It doesn't wave a giant flag saying, "Hey, look, it's what's driving your behavior." Instead, it communicates through subtler signals anxiety that bubbles up for no apparent reason. Habits you can't seem to break, or emotional reactions that feel disproportionate to the situation. Imagine the subconscious as the stagehand. In a theatrical production, setting the scene and pulling the strings, while the conscious mind takes the spotlight. Mindfulness acts as your backstage pass, giving you a glimpse of how the show is run. One of the biggest benefits of mindfulness is its ability to help you recognize those subconscious patterns in real time. For example, say you get into an argument with a loved one and feel anger rising rapidly, instead of reacting impulsively perhaps. With harsh words or defensiveness, mindfulness encourages you to pause and observe what's happening in your body. Is your heart racing, or your fists clenched? And what's happening in your mind? Are old hurts or fears bubbling beneath the surface? By pausing in this way, you connect with the underlying emotions stored in your subconscious. Maybe you realize the anger isn't about the current argument at all. It's tied to a deeper fear of rejection or a lingering frustration from unresolved past conflicts. This awareness transforms your reaction from automatic to intentional. You're no longer a puppet of your subconscious scripts. You've stepped into the director's seat. The practice of mindfulness isn't just about awareness during moments of tension, though it's a tool you can use every day to deepen your connection with your subconscious. Here are some practical ways to incorporate mindfulness into your life. 1. Mindful breathing. This is mindfulness in its simplest form, and it acts as a powerful bridge between your conscious and subconscious layers. Find a quiet spot, sit comfortably, and focus on your breathing. Feel the air as it enters your nose, fills your lungs, and flows back out. When your mind begins to wander, gently guide your attention back to your breath. With practice, you'll notice patterns in your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. These insights often reveal how your subconscious is directing your inner dialogue. Point 2. Body scans. Your subconscious mind often communicates through your body. That tension in your shoulders or the pit in your stomach? Those sensations might be clues. A body scan practice involves mentally traveling through each part of your body, noticing any areas of tightness, warmth, or discomfort. For example, you might discover that your jaw tightens during stressful moments, a subconscious response to pressure or fear. By simply noticing and relaxing those tense areas, you're sending a message back to your subconscious that it's safe to release that stored stress. 3. Mindful journaling. Writing can be a direct line to your subconscious mind. Start by setting a timer for a few minutes and writing whatever comes to mind without overthinking or editing. Don't worry about grammar or structure. This process, often called stream of consciousness journaling, can reveal recurring themes or beliefs that you weren't consciously aware of. You might notice, for instance, that certain self-defeating thoughts appear often or that specific memories surface repeatedly. These are breadcrumbs leading you to deeper subconscious programming for observing, without judgment. One challenge with mindfulness is the tendency to criticize yourself when difficult thoughts or feelings arise. Maybe you notice thoughts like, Why do I always mess up? Or, I should be over this by now. When you hear these scripts, don't fight them, and don't cling to them. Simply acknowledge their presence with curiosity, like a scientist studying a fascinating subject. Oh, there's that self-doubt again, you might say to yourself. This practice of non-judgment creates space for compassion and change. 5. Mindfulness. In everyday tasks, mindfulness doesn't always require a set time or place. It can be woven into the fabric of your daily life, whether you're washing dishes, sipping coffee, or walking in your neighborhood. Bring your full attention to the task at hand. Notice the texture of the soap suds, the warmth of the mug in your hand, or the feeling of the ground beneath your feet. These small moments of presence strengthen your ability to tune into both your inner and outer worlds. Over time, they create a habit of noticing, which translates into spotting subconscious cues more easily. What makes mindfulness such a transformative practice is that it lays the groundwork for true awareness. When you're entrenched in old patterns or heightened emotions, the subconscious often feels like an unruly monster, powerful but uncontrollable. Mindfulness tames that monster by shining a light on its intentions. You begin to see that your subconscious isn't working against you, but rather for you, albeit based on outdated programming. By building mindfulness into your routine, you create an open dialogue with your subconscious, allowing for gradual and meaningful shifts. Ultimately, mindfulness is the gateway to awareness because it teaches you one profound truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This subtle but powerful shift reclaims your agency. When you're no longer swept away by the currents of your subconscious, you gain the freedom to choose how you act, think, and feel. And with that freedom, you can more intentionally shape the life you want to create. Decoding dreams, a window to the subconscious. Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid it lingered in your mind all day? Or maybe you've had a dream that felt random and nonsensical, but left you with a specific emotion, a sense of unease, excitement, or curiosity. Dreams have fascinated us as long as humans have existed. Across cultures and centuries, they've been seen as omens, pathways to the divine, or riddles waiting to be solved. But at their core, dreams are like postcards from your subconscious mind, offering clues about your inner world. When you dream, your conscious mind takes a back seat, and your subconscious takes center stage. This is why dreams often feel so surreal, without the boundaries of logic or reason that dominate your waking life. Your subconscious communicates through symbols, emotions, and fragmented narratives. But what exactly are dreams trying to tell us? And how can we decode their messages to better understand ourselves? The significance of dreams. Dreams are more than just the brain's activity while you sleep. They serve as a powerful reflection of what's happening beneath the surface. Imagine your subconscious mind as a vast ocean. During the day, the waves are choppy, and the surface ripples with activity from your conscious thoughts, conversations, and daily routines. But at night, as your body rests, the surface stills, and you're afforded a glimpse into the deeper currents below, places where your fears, desires, and unresolved emotions reside. One of the key roles of dreams is to process emotions and experiences. Think of dreaming as your mind's way of decluttering. While your waking hours may overflow with stimuli, your dreams sift through this information, finding patterns, making connections, and distilling it into meaningful insights. Sometimes this process is straightforward. You dream about an upcoming job interview because you're nervous about it. Other times it's more abstract, like dreaming of floating in a vast empty space. Either way, your subconscious is working to process and express what words and logic might struggle to convey. Beyond processing daily life, dreams also reveal deeper recurring themes in your subconscious programming. For instance, if you frequently dream about being chased, it could reflect an underlying fear or something you're avoiding in your waking life. Recurring dreams often point to unresolved issues or entrenched beliefs that your subconscious is urging you to address. These are opportunities for self-reflection and growth, waiting for you to interpret them. How dreams reflect subconscious thoughts. The language of dreams is not literal, it's symbolic. A dream about a broken mirror might not be about an actual mirror in your life, but could symbolize how you see yourself. A dream about flying might reflect a desire for freedom or the ability to rise above challenges. Your subconscious knows you better than anyone, but it doesn't speak in sentences or clear instructions. Instead, it uses images, metaphors, and sensations that are uniquely tailored to your inner world, making dream analysis a deeply personal process. Take, for example, emotions in dreams. If you've ever woken up feeling inexplicably sad or anxious after a dream, it's because your subconscious frequently uses emotion as its primary mode of expression. You could dream of something as simple as losing a pair of keys, but the overwhelming sadness you feel in the dream might signify a deeper fear of losing control or direction in life. To truly decode a dream, it's essential to focus not just on the imagery, but also on how it made you feel. Another fascinating aspect of dreams is their ability to integrate suppressed or repressed feelings. During the day, you might consciously avoid certain thoughts. Perhaps it's too painful to confront a stressful relationship or a lingering insecurity. But at night, your subconscious mind has no such boundaries. It brings these dormant emotions to the surface in symbolic form, gently nudging you to pay attention. Practical tips for understanding dreams. Now that we've explored how dreams connect to the subconscious, the big question is, how do you make sense of them? Here are some practical steps to help you decode the messages hidden in your dreams. 1. Keep a dream journal. The first step to understanding your dreams is to remember them. And a dream journal is invaluable for this purpose. Keep a notebook by your bed and jot down your dreams as soon as you wake up, even if they feel vague or disjointed. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns, recurring symbols, themes linking to your subconscious beliefs or concerns. 2. Focus on the emotion first. While the images in your dreams are important, the emotions they evoke are often the key to their meaning. So ask yourself, how did I feel during this dream? Were you calm, afraid, joyful, or confused? These emotions are often a direct reflection of something your subconscious wants you to explore. 3. Look for recurring symbols. Certain symbols tend to appear repeatedly in dreams, and they often hold deeper meaning. For example, dreaming about water may signal emotions or the subconscious itself, as water is often seen as a metaphor for mental and emotional states. Pay attention to these symbols and what they might represent in your life. Point 4. Consider what's happening in your waking life. Dreams rarely occur in a vacuum. They're often tied to what's happening in your conscious world. If you have a stressful presentation coming up, you might dream about losing your voice or being unprepared. Connect the dots between your dreams and your daily life to gain clarity. 5. Use guided questions. After recording a dream, try asking yourself these questions. What stands out most from this dream? Does anything in the dream remind me of a current situation or past experience? What do I think my subconscious is trying to tell me? 6. Be open to multiple interpretations. Dreams are rarely straightforward, and their meanings can evolve over time. Don't get stuck on finding a correct interpretation. Instead, explore different possibilities and trust your intuition. The meaning that resonates with you is often the truest. 7. Engage in active imagination. This is a technique inspired by Carl Jung, where you re-enter a dream in your mind during a meditative state. Imagine yourself back in the dream setting and interact with its elements. Ask questions explore symbols, or change the narrative. This process can provide new insights and even help resolve inner conflicts, the mystery and magic of dreams. While not every dream demands deep analysis, it's okay if you forget some or find others too bizarre to decipher. They all serve an essential role in the intricate dance between your conscious and subconscious minds. Dreams are a creative playground for your inner self, a way of processing, healing, and communicating. The beauty of dreams lies in their mystery. They remind us that we are more than just our conscious selves. We have a vast, rich inner landscape, filled with stories waiting to be uncovered. By paying attention to your dreams and engaging with them thoughtfully, you'll gain a deeper understanding of yourself and unlock the wisdom of your subconscious, one night at a time. Tools and techniques for harnessing subconscious power. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil, ready to grow whatever you plant within it. Whether those seeds are limiting beliefs or empowering thoughts, they take root and shape how you experience life. The beauty of this truth is that you can intentionally choose the seeds you plant. By using specific tools and techniques, you can work with your subconscious mind to cultivate positive changes, align with your goals, and create the reality you desire. This chapter will focus on practical, actionable methods to help you engage with and reprogram your subconscious mind. These tools are accessible and versatile, meaning anyone can start using them, no matter where they are in their personal growth journey. The key is consistency and an open mind. 1. Affirmations. Speak your truth into existence. Words have immense power, especially when repeated regularly with intention. Affirmations are positive, present tense statements designed to reprogram limiting beliefs in your subconscious. They're like giving your subconscious new instructions, teaching it to align with the reality you want to create. For example, if one of your core challenges is self-doubt, you might begin with affirmations like, "I am confident and capable. In all that I do, I trust myself to make the right decisions. Am worthy of success and happiness." The key to effective affirmations lies in repetition and emotion. Repeat your chosen affirmations consistently during your morning routine before bed, or even throughout the day when you need a confidence boost. Pair each statement with the feeling you want to embody. If you're affirming confidence, imagine what being fearless feels like. Over time, these affirmations become the new default programming in your subconscious mind. Take it a step further by placing your affirmations where you'll see them often. Write them on sticky notes and place them on your mirror, desk, or phone. Screen. Seeing them repeatedly reinforces the message for your subconscious. 2. Visualization. Create mental blueprints for success. Visualization is another powerful tool for conditioning the subconscious. When you visualize, you create a mental image of the outcomes you want to achieve. This isn't just daydreaming. It's a focused practice that taps into the power of your mind to bring your desires closer to reality. Here's how it works. Close your eyes and picture your goal as if it's already accomplished. Make the image vivid and detailed, engaging all your senses. If your goal is to land a new job, imagine yourself walking into the office, shaking hands with your new colleagues, and feeling excited about the opportunities ahead. Hear the sounds, smell the environment, and feel the emotions of pride and joy. The more realistic you make the visualization, the more your subconscious accepts it as truth. Your mind doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So this technique primes it to seek ways to make your vision a reality. Combine visualization with affirmations for an even greater impact. Affirm your desired outcome while seeing it vividly in your minds. I3. Meditation. Quiet the noise. Access the subconscious. Meditation is one of the most direct ways to connect with your subconscious mind. By quieting the constant chatter of your conscious thoughts, you create space to listen to the deeper layers of your mind. Meditation also promotes relaxation, reduces stress, and increases self-awareness, all of which make it easier to tap into your subconscious. A simple meditation practice might look like this. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Focus on your breath as it flows in and out. When thoughts arise, and they will, simply acknowledge them without judgment and return your focus to your breath. With consistent practice, you'll notice you're more in tune with your inner world. You may uncover recurring thoughts or emotions tied to your subconscious programming. Over time, you can use this awareness to gently reshape those patterns. Guided meditations can be a great starting point, especially if you struggle with focus. Many apps and online resources offer meditations specifically designed for working with the works of subconscious. 4. Habit formation rewire through repetition. Habits are the actions we take without conscious thought, behaviors guided almost entirely by the subconscious. By intentionally building positive habits, you can influence your subconscious programming and create lasting change. One effective approach to habit formation is starting small. Focus on one manageable action at a time, like drinking a glass of water every morning or spending 5 minutes journaling. Repetition is key. The more consistent you are, the faster the habit becomes automatic. For example, if your goal is to increase gratitude, begin a habit of writing down 3 things you're thankful for every night. Over time, this trains your subconscious too. Focus on abundance rather than lack, shifting your overall perspective. Tie your new habit to an existing routine. For instance, if you want to start visualizing your goals, do it right after brushing your teeth or before your morning coffee. This creates a trigger. It's making it easier to stick with the habit. 5. Mindful self-talk. Reframe your inner dialogue. The way you talk to yourself matters. Negative self-talk often stems from subconscious beliefs, but the good news is that you can interrupt and reframe it. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never succeed," pause. Place it with, "I am learning and growing every day." This simple shift creates a ripple effect, showing your subconscious that new, empowering narratives are possible. Pay attention to your inner dialogue, especially in moments of challenge or self-doubt. Treat yourself as you would a close friend, with kindness, encouragement, and compassion. Over time, this mindful approach rewires your subconscious to adopt a more supportive tone. 6. Anchor techniques connect states to cues. Anchors are physical actions or objects tied to specific emotional or mental states. For example, pressing your thumb and forefinger together while feeling calm can become a calmness anchor for stressful situations. This works because your subconscious associates the gesture with the emotional state you practiced it. In 2, create an anchor. Pick a small action or cue, like tapping your wrist or clenching a fist. Practice it while you're in a desired mental state, such as relaxation or confidence. Repeat often until the connection solidifies. When you encounter a challenging moment, use your anchor action too. Cue your subconscious and regain that positive state, building momentum. Each of these tools of formations, visualization, meditation, habit formation, mindful self-talk, and anchoring, work synergistically. Start with 1 or 2 techniques that resonate with you and build from there. Remember, reprogramming the subconscious is a process. It requires patience, consistency, and belief in the possibility of change. The more you align your conscious actions with your subconscious intentions, the more fluidly life unfolds. These techniques are not just practices, They're invitations to rediscover your inner power and use it to shape a fulfilling future. Use these tools, nurture your subconscious, and watch as your reality begins to reflect your deepest aspirations. Shaping your reality through the subconscious. If you've made it this far, you now have a deep understanding of your subconscious mind, what it is, how it works, and the immense power it holds. You've also explored an array of tools to access, understand, and reprogram this hidden powerhouse. But how do you pull it all together? How do you use this knowledge and these techniques to create a life that feels purposeful, fulfilling, and aligned with who you truly are? That's what this final chapter is all about. Integrating everything. You've learned to shape your reality from the inside out. The power of integration. The beauty of working with your subconscious mind is that the effects ripple outward into every area of your life. You might start with something small, building confidence, changing a habit, or easing a fear but in time. Those small wins accumulate into profound, lasting transformation. However, to see those results, you need more than just understanding. Integration is the key. It's about turning these concepts and tools into daily practices. The foundational rhythms of your life. Consider the subconscious like a garden. You've learned how to identify the weeds' negative beliefs and patterns. Plant new seeds, positive thoughts and habits, and nurture the soil, self-awareness, and mindfulness. Your task is to maintain that garden, tending to it consistently, so it can flourish. Transformation isn't an overnight event. It's a process that rewards persistence, care, and faith in the seeds you've planted. Start small, stay consistent. One of the biggest myths about personal growth is that it requires massive, sweeping action. But real, sustainable change often begins with small, manageable steps. The subconscious thrives on repetition, so integrating even a single positive practice into your daily routine can have a powerful impact over time. For instance, start with a morning affirmation or 5 minutes of meditation. Incorporate mindful breathing during transitions in your day. Spend a moment each evening visualizing a goal you're passionate about. These tiny practices, performed consistently, signal to your subconscious that you're serious about this new path. They lay the groundwork for bigger shifts. Without feeling overwhelming, the key is not how much you do, but how often you do it. Repetition strengthens neural pathways in your brain, reinforcing new patterns and beliefs. Even if you don't see dramatic results right away, trust that your efforts are taking root beneath the surface. Self-awareness. As a compass, one of the most life-changing skills you can develop is self-awareness. It's the ability to notice your thoughts, emotions, and habits without judgment, like a compassionate observer. When you practice self-awareness, you're able to catch subconscious patterns in motion. You notice the moments when old fears try to hold you back or outdated. Beliefs cloud your judgment. And with this awareness, you gain the power to choose a different response. For example, perhaps you find yourself hesitating to take an exciting opportunity. Instead of being swept away by doubt, self-awareness allows you to pause and reflect. Is this hesitation based on fear or a limiting belief rooted in your subconscious? So, how can you counter it with a new affirmation or a moment of visualization? Over time, this practice shifts the balance of power, putting you firmly in charge of your inner world. Belief in the process. Working with the subconscious is not always a linear path. There will be days when you feel deeply connected to your growth, and others when it feels like nothing is happening. These moments can feel discouraging, but they're a natural part of the process. Change often happens beneath the surface, unfolding in ways you might not immediately notice. This is where belief becomes your anchor. Trust that the work you're doing is moving you closer to the life you want, even if the results aren't visible yet. Remind yourself that the subconscious takes time to adapt to new programming, much like muscles take time to grow stronger with consistent exercise. Staying committed, even in moments of self-doubt, is what separates temporary improvements from lasting transformation. Aligning action with intention. The subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, but it doesn't act in isolation. To shape your reality, you need to pair internal work with deliberate action. These go hand in hand. What you believe about yourself influences your actions. Your actions reinforce your beliefs. For instance, if your goal is to become more confident, affirmations alone won't do the heavy lifting. Use them to reframe your self-concept, but also take small, bold steps in your daily life. Speak up in a meeting, accept a compliment, or try something you've been avoiding. Action is a message to your subconscious, saying, "This is the direction we're heading now." Over time, these actions and beliefs build momentum, propelling you toward your goals. Celebrate milestones, big and small. Personal growth is not just about the destination, it's about the journey. Along the way, take time to celebrate your progress. It's each small win, whether it's breaking a habit, catching a negative thought, or feeling more at ease in your own skin. It's proof that you're moving in the right direction. Acknowledge these moments. They're signs that your subconscious is listening and responding to the work you're doing. Create a vision for your future. Finally, remember to keep your eyes on the horizon. What does the life you want to create look like? How does it feel? Who are you in that reality? Visualization is an essential tool in shaping your subconscious, but it's also a reminder of the bigger picture. Set aside time regularly to connect with your vision, imagining it in vivid detail. This practice keeps you inspired and motivated. Even when the road feels long, your next chapter. As you step forward, know that you have everything you need to shape your reality. Your subconscious mind, once a silent force working behind the scenes, is now your trusted ally. With self-awareness, consistency, and belief in the process, you can align its immense power with your deepest desires. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one where you are the author, consciously crafting your story. Every thought, every action, and every moment of mindfulness is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. Paint it boldly, with intention and joy, knowing that you have the tools to create something extraordinary. Your subconscious is ready. Are you?